Kuʻi Papani. He aha ke kuʻi papani. Let's deconstruct this phrase. Kuʻi means to join objects together. You may be familiar with the kuʻi and, like the opihi and the vana. How would you translate this phrase? Ka opihi a me ka vana. A me is used to join two people or objects together. Another word for and is a. A is used to join two sentences together. For example, Kaleo was pounding opihi and he saw some iwa. E kuʻi o pihi ana o Kaleo a ua ike oie kekahi mau iwa. For instruction on how to translate this sentence, please refer to my Pepeke Painu videos in my Hawaiian 101 playlist. Back to Kuʻi Papani, he aha ke Kuʻi Papani. Kuʻi Papani are phrases that use papani or pronouns to join two people together. There are 3 papani we use as Kuʻi Papani: māua, ʻolua, and lāua. Let's start with māua. Here we have a boy telling his dad that he and his friend Kaleo going holo holo. We're going holo holo. In this scenario, we is māua because it's we, two exclusive, and the boy is excluding the person he is talking to, his dad. E holo holo ana māua. Now, if the boy wants to specify who is going with him, he can do that by saying e holo holo ana māua o Kaleo, which translates as Kaleo and I are going holo holo, or me and Kaleo going holo holo. The phrase māua o Kaleo becomes Kaleo and I, or me and Kaleo. Instead of a name like Kaleo, you can also add a kikino. E holo holo ana māua o koʻu holoha. My friend and I going holo holo, or me and my friend going holo holo. Note that whether you use a name or kikino to specify who you're talking about, you always use o. Māua o Kaleo or māua o koʻu holoha. To recap, māua is used as a kuʻi papani to indicate someone else and I, or me and someone else. For example, my friend and I, me and Kaleo. Our next kuʻi papani uses ʻolua. He aha ka manaʻo o ʻolua? What is the translation of ʻolua? ʻolua is you too. For example, Dad asks his son, "You two going?" E holo holo ana ʻolua. If Dad wants to specify who the other person of ʻolua is, he can say, "E holo holo ana ʻolua o Kaleo." In other words, you and Kaleo going. Again, he can also use kuʻi papani with kikino. E holo holo ana ʻolua o kou holoha. You and your friend going. To recap, ʻolua is used as a kuʻi papani to indicate you and someone else. For example, you and Kaleo, or you and your friend. The last papani we can use as a kuʻi papani is lāua. He aha ka manaʻo o lāua? What is the translation of lāua? Lāua is they two or them two. For example, son replies, "You remember Ko and Ala? We're going holo holo with them two." E holo holo ana māua me lāua. We can use lāua as a kuʻi papani to join two people together. E holo holo ana māua me koa lāua o Ala. That phrase, koa lāua o Ala, is the kuʻi papani. We're going holo holo with koa and Ala. Again, you don't have to use a name. You can use a kikino. For example, we're going holo holo with my friend and his brother. E holo holo ana māua me koʻu hoa lāua o kona palala. There's one more way to use lāua as a kuʻi papani. Dad says, "Okay, I see him and Ala there. See you later." Him and Ala is the kuʻi papani and can be translated lāua o Ala. And we can translate the sentence as hiki no ike wau ia lāua o Ala ma leila ahui hou. And that is how we use lāua as a kuʻi papani. So we use lāua to join someone and someone. We can use names here or kikino, or we can use lāua as her and someone or him and someone. And that is our kuʻi papani.